If you run a small business and you want to use Notion to store, track and manage your standard operating procedures, then this is the video for you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to start creating SOPs using my Notion SOP Directory template. And if you want to grab it, I'll drop a link down into the description below. When you first download the template, you'll arrive here on the homepage, and I'll go into more detail on the homepage in just a bit. First, let's create a new SOP. So if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see that here on the right hand side, we've got a new button, and here we've got a template. So if I click on new, straight away it's going to use the template that comes as part of the Notion template. And I'll show you in just a bit how you can go and edit this, but let's just go and use it to start off with. Here at the top, we've just got some basic information. So what's its status? So this could be just an idea, which is new, or not started. So we know we want to go and write this, but we've just not got round to it yet. We've got in draft, where we're in the middle of writing it. Review, where we want somebody else to go and check it over to make sure it's okay. Active, where it's being used by the team. Paused is where we want to take it out of service. Maybe we need to go and change it. And then lastly, we've got archive, where we want to store the SOP for reference, but it's no longer in active use. Next, we can add an assignee, and that's the person who's currently working on this SOP. So it may be drafting it, it may be reviewing it. Here you can see I've got a set of test people, and I can just go and add another one. So just type in test person in here, click on create test person, and that will then go and add it to the list. Next up, we've got the area or department. So again, I've got some examples in the template, but of course you can delete these by clicking the three dots and delete, and then just go and add your own. And then lastly, when was it last updated? So I'm going to put today. And then we've got these three little dots where we can add further information. So click those and it brings up this side panel. So next up, we've got the users. So who are the people who will actually be using the SOP? We've then also got the update. So this is done automatically. So let's say we want to update this SOP every 30 days. Just type in 30, and you can see that the next update is going to be on the 5th of August. And that's because it's looking at the last update date, which is today, the 6th of July. And it's just adding on 30 days to create that next update date. Audit, this has just got some information about created and last edited. These are all automatic. You don't need to do anything. And then we can add in tags. So for example, I've got a few examples here. And lastly, if you want to attach any documents to support the SOP. Underneath, we've then got a few additional bits. So we could add a parent SOP if this is part of a bigger set of processes. We could also add a child SOP as well. Here is reviewed. So let's say that this was actually created at the beginning of June, for example. And so it needed to be reviewed on the 1st of July. So I'm actually a little bit behind. Once I've gone through and had a look at it, all I need to do is just go and click on the reviewed button. It changes the last update date to today, which then goes and automatically updates the next update date. So basically all reviewed is doing is changing this date to today. Underneath, we've got all of the information. So this is the detail as part of the SOP. And I'll show you how to go and update this template in just a second. The background, so what's the purpose of the SOP? So what's this process about? Then there's the scope. So what sort of the boundaries in terms of where it starts and where does it stop, and how does it fit into the wider organization? We've got roles and responsibilities. So who owns the SOP? So who's responsible for it being written, for it being used correctly, for updating it? And are there any other users who have something connected to this SOP? Any definitions or abbreviations that people need to know to be able to use it? And then here, this is the main section. So this is how to, and then we can actually insert the process name. So how to do something. And you can do it in different ways. So I've put in an example table here. So we could have step 1, step 2, and then just go and write in what somebody needs to do in order to complete the process. You can also go and embed diagrams or images. So for example, if I delete those and press /image, you can go and upload an image. Or we can actually go and use a checklist of some sort. So if I delete checklist, if you press square brackets on your keyboard and space, you could then go and add stage 1, etc. And you can go and people could tick them off as they use it. So that's another example of a way to add in your how-tos. Or you could even go and embed a video, and that could be Loom, it could be YouTube, or you can even upload directly into Notion. Then we've got tools and materials required. Any that's quite self-explanatory. Documentation, you can use the file block. And then lastly, just go and store the background to the SOP. So when was it created, signed off, launched, etc. And then when were any revisions, what revisions were made. So maybe steps were added, amended, taken out, and who did it. And then you can also add any further notes as necessary. So that's all the information within the SOP. Now let me show you how you can go and customize this template. So I'm going to go back to our list, to our home page. And you'll see here that this is the SOP database. And on the right hand side, we've got the new button with the down arrow. And we've got new SOP. So this is the template. So to the right, we've just got the 3 dots. So if you just click there and then click edit, and you'll see it's now got this banner at the top to tell us that you're editing a template. So if I maximize this window, you can see here again the template, but here you can go and modify it. So for example, if you know within your organization you're never going to need about context, you could just go and select that and delete it, and that will remove it from all future SOPs. Maybe within key roles and responsibilities, you know there's going to be somebody else, you could go and change this and add them in, etc., etc. So you can change the colors, you can go and remove, say, checklists if you know you're never going to use it, etc. So go and amend the template, then every time you create a future SOP, it will use the amended version. I really hope you're finding this video useful. If you are, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Lastly, let me show you around the home page. So at the top, you can of course go and change the name of this. You can put it wherever you want. You can go and delete this text. I have got a little training video here as well. So when you no longer need this, or when you're confident, you can either move it out the way or just go and delete it, but it's there to go and help you with how to use the template. Then underneath, we've got the database. So this is actually the store of all the SOPs, and I've just given you loads of example views here. So let me quickly run through these. So here we've just got a list of all the SOPs, and all of these are example ones. Then we've got all of them, but they are broken down by status. So you can see here that I've just grouped them by their various stages as I went over earlier. We've got a pipeline, so you can see which of the various SOPs are in which stage, and you can of course move them across and drag them between each of the columns as you progress. Drafts, these are SOPs that are currently being written. You can see who's assigned to it. So finance is being written currently by Laura, we've got sales by Sarah, and you can also see when they were last edited. Review, these are SOPs that need to be double checked before they can be put into active use. We've got active in different views. So we've got a card view, and we've also got here broken down by department. And if you don't want any of these views, if they're not necessary for your organization, then just go and right click and click on delete. Or if you want to use one of these views somewhere else within your workspace, just go and right click and go copy link to view. And then somewhere else, you can just go and press paste on your keyboard like that, paste as linked database view, and it'll go and recreate it somewhere else. So you can just go and take each of these views and use them as you want throughout your workspace. Here we've got active SOPs per owner, and we've got active SOPs per assignee. So the people who are currently responsible for each one for whatever they're doing. And we've also got all of the users, and 2 more here. We've got an active one per tag. So here they're grouped by the little tags that I showed you in part 1. And lastly, we've got here all of the SOPs when update is due. So all of these are actually overdue. They were last updated beginning of January. All of these now need to be updated. So that's just a list. And again, you can go and use that wherever you want. Are you currently using SOPs in your business? If you are, comment SOP down into the comments, or no if it's something you've not yet started. I'd love to know. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button. It really helps other people to discover the video. And if you want to know more about how to use SOPs and Notion in your small business, then check out the videos in the playlist right here.